What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I'm your host, the Iron Ghost. My co-host over here, the Iron Bat. Going to be really going over today introduction to firearms. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are new to the firearm community. They said, you know, I really want to get a firearm, but I don't exactly know what to do or how to react around the video or around the firearm. So this video is more for you. Now, others out there might be, hey, this video might be a little helpful. Yeah, go ahead and watch it. It's for everybody, but mainly the newcomers to the firearm community. We're going to be going over weapon safety, how to properly treat weapons, how to act around firearms, all sorts of good stuff.
Your basics.
Now, first thing to do is know this. Your standardized firearm, such as this nice little shotgun here, this is a tool. And just like any other tool, like this hammer, it is not a weapon. Please, choose caution around these. Now, when presenting yourself around any firearm, one thing you really want to do is ensure that it's not loaded. And you really do want to treat every firearm like it is loaded, no matter what. If somebody just hands you, if you're at a gun store and looking at different firearms, and someone hands you a firearm, you definitely want to inspect it. It doesn't matter if that person before you inspected it or not.
I did not.
You want to open, you want to slide back to the rear, lock it, check it, inspect it, make sure there's no magazine in, there's no round in the chamber, and then you can, you know, see how it feels. That even goes for firing ranges. Doesn't matter if you just completely unloaded it or not. Don't be picking it up, waving around, pointing it at people.
You're going to see a lot of people duck if you do that.
Yeah, and you actually might get tackled to the ground. Now, that is something you do not want to do ever. Unless you're a criminal, then you do not obey gun laws. Because you're a criminal.
Let's stay off that topic for now, though.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Now, weapon safety versus finger safety. Now, a lot of firearms come with their own selector switch. Now, a selector switch is a mechanism that causes your firearm to not engage the trigger mechanism, which causes it to fire. Now, most shotguns and AR-15s and bolt actions have those, but a majority of the pistols actually don't. Glock, some SIGs don't have it. Beretta,
Smith & Wessons don't. Some of them don't.
Yeah, some
Their
Smith & Wessons
don't.
Well, actually, I don't think any polymer base.
No polymer base has them
at all.
I think some Taurus. No, Taurus. No, yes, Taurus does have some polymer bases that have them. They're 320.
The vast majority of 1911s don't have an actual safety.
They have a pistol. They have the grip safety.
They've got the grip, and then it's double action, so you have to. So it doesn't matter if the weapon is on safety or not. Keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to engage a target. And a target could be a deer, a squirrel, human being that is intruding into your house, or a pop-up target at firing range. Be safe around firearms. That's all we're asking. Make us look good by showing that you actually appreciate your brand new firearm that you went out and bought. Right ammo for the right weapon. Well, now, a lot of people are saying, what do you mean by that? Well, obviously, 12 gauge shotgun, you can fire any style of 12 gauge out of this shotgun.
Not true. 3-inch. Some of the 3-inches can't go through it.
Ah, yeah. My bad. Some of the 3-inch does not go through most shotguns.
You got to know between hunting shotgun and home defense shotgun. There are some home defenses that will not shoot a 3-inch shell, and there are some that will, but they're really not considered a home defense. I'll leave it at that.
I stand corrected. But yes, so
I proved you wrong for a change.
now, the vast majority of AR-15s are barreled to fire 223 and 5.56. That means you can fire 223 or 5.56 rounds out of your firearm. Now, if you get an AR-15 and it says only 223, please do not fire 5.56 ammunition out of your 223 rifle. It will not be pretty.
Please don't.
There's probably other videos all over YouTube of people that have done that, and it's really not good for your rifle, and it just ends up destroying your rifle. And
The last thing we want you to do is go out and buy a brand new weapon, and then you ruin it. I mean, you just spent a whole bunch of money on a weapon. Now, that also leads to another point. Don't just go out and buy something. Research it. Make sure you know that's what you want. Watch videos on it. Hitcock45. He's got a YouTube video. He does great videos when it comes to it. Most of my weapons, almost all of them actually, I've watched him do videos on it. The SIG 226, the 229. I think he did a 320. I'm not 100% sure on that. The Glock 23. The ARs. He's done it on 308s. I mean, if you're gonna go buy a weapon, make sure you research it, please.
please,
It's just an all around. It's good for you, and it's good for anyone else around you.
and whenever you know more about the firearm before you purchase it, it helps you better after you've purchased it. It helps you understand more of how it actually functions.
And it actually makes you more excited because you know exactly what you're buying. Makes you really want to go, I really want to learn this. I really want to go fire this. I want to know my weapon because it's going to be your weapon. Because it's going to be a part of you is literally what happens. They're not tools. I mean, they're not weapons. They're tools.
Right.
They're part of you. That's what they are. They're here to protect you.
Now, along the same lines of right ammunition for the right weapon, magazines and clips. Yes, there is a massive difference between the two. This is a 9mm magazine for a SIG. This is a 45 magazine for a SIG. This is a 223/556 magazine for AR-15 platform firearms. This is a 7.62x39 AK-47 magazine made by Magpul, specifically designed for the AK-47.
Dang it, you saw me. Now,
This right here, this is a clip, more commonly known as a stripper clip, actually. This does not feed into a firearm, such as this. Now, there are stripper clips that for many older World War II style firearms, the Mauser,
Mauser has it.
Winston Churchill's pistol, which was also modified
Shoot, what's that one?
for, I can't even remember, was modified to be
Someone
into
commented
the,
down below so we can remember.
Star Wars movie for Han Solo's blaster. That was actually lock it back to the rear, just shove it straight down into
No,
the
it'd been 44
magazine
in World
well.
War II. It'd been 45.
Yep. But please do not try to push this up into an AR-15 with the bolt locked back to the rear, hit the bolt release, and hope to God it's going to work, because it's not going to work.
One,
You're
because
going to hurt yourself.
One, because your firing pin can't hit it back here.
And you're going to damage everything
Everything.
here. And it honestly could blow up.
Yeah, I don't want 9 rounds. I don't want 10 rounds coming at me.
You really don't want those rounds in your face at all. Gun safes. A lot of people out there do have gun safes. A lot of people don't. It really depends on how you feel about your firearms.
It's also a very interesting topic to watch around firearm owners. Some people say that you should have a safe. It protects you. It helps when you have kids. Agreed. It's really good when you have younger children, especially when those birthday parties and all those family events come around. You can't keep your eye on everybody, and that's just going to happen no matter what. But also, having a safe can also damper protecting them. And it's a big controversy, you would say, I guess, and the gun owner community. Do I have one? Do I not have one? Do I have one? Do I have none? Do I keep gun locks or do I keep a safe?
Do I really need it? Or does it hinder me being able to protect my family when the time comes right to defend where we live? Now, yeah, there's a lot of different kind of gun safes out there. If you feel more comfortable with a gun safe, get a gun safe.
If you feel more comfortable without one, don't get one. Just be prepared. Make sure you got them hidden somewhere. Make sure you know how to get to them quickly. And make sure that no one just randomly walking by can grab it and go.
And also, if you do not get a gun safe, don't just leave your firearm laying just anywhere. Even if you don't have kids, don't just leave them really laying anywhere when you have all sorts of company coming over, because somebody could honestly just be like, "Oh, y'all have a good day," and leave off without it or with it, and you'd be like, "Hey, who took my firearm?" File a police report. Probably never even find it again. Now going back to firearms around children. Really, you want to introduce your children at a comfortable age for you. Whatever age you feel comfortable telling your children, hey, this is in the house. You don't know where it is. Don't go looking for it. That's up to you. Also, very simple age for
that we both agree on.
Yeah, for actually starting to train them on firearms. It's about 10 years old. Now, I'm not saying go take them out with a 12 gauge shotgun and be like, here, have fun. No, you really want to start them on low caliber, get them used to the feel of the rifle, recoil, and the fundamentals of actually possessing firearms. Just really be cautious around your children, but also try to get them in the mindset of, hey, you're safe.
And this is here to protect me.
But don't go looking for it.
It's not a toy.
It's not a toy.
They will hurt.
They will.
Trust me, they will hurt.
Now, you get a firearm. First thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to go to the shooting range. And really...
Stop right there.
What?
Make sure when you go to the firing range, you know what you're doing. Please, I know, but please, don't just go and think, I've seen that on TV. I know what I need to do. Ask the range master, right off the bat, what's the rules here?
And usually, on all the ranges that I've actually been on, spot where you get all your targets, you pay for your range time, all that, they've got a big billboard of, here are the rules. And then, every about 10 feet, there's another one of those billboards. Mm-hmm. So if you don't feel like standing in the range officer's building for 5 minutes reading the rules, you want to get out to the range, get out there, do as he told you to do, read the rules, ensure that you stay safe along those guidelines.
Yeah, and this is gun safety. We want you to be safe.
We really want you to be safe. Now, along with range safety, they're going to be one of the rules on there will even say muzzle awareness. And it's basically, don't go walking around, waving it around, like you know what the heck you're doing. Because if you do that, you're going to get drop kicked, tackled.
And asked to leave.
Yes. I've seen it before.
Seen it multiple times.
People go onto the range. All right, cool, and they start flagging everybody. And what I mean by flagging is, you've got your firearm, and it's pointing, say this direction, and you wave it right past people. That is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Very dangerous.
You're liable to be shot there.
You really are.
Not you, yourself, but you're liable to shoot someone.
Another thing on the range is finger awareness. If you're walking around, you don't want to be walking around with your finger on the trigger the whole time. You want it off. Oh, Good Lord. Honestly,
Gotta love that slide release, don't you?
oh, it's not loaded. Honestly, most people with long fingers, they do tend to put it across where the trigger weld is. But really, you want to have it angled upwards so that if you trip, you fall, you don't accidentally grab it in the trigger and it goes off on you. And there's a lot of things you're going to hear on the gun range. You're going to hear over loudspeaker, different calls. And then sometimes you'll have people standing right next to you shooting, and they'll see something, and they'll be like, wait, something's wrong with that person's firearm. They need to stop before they mess themselves up. Now, ceasefire is really one of the big things you'll hear on a firing range. If you hear ceasefire, stop pulling the trigger. Take your finger off the trigger. If your firearm has a safety, switch the safety on. Drop the magazine. And do remember, just because every time you drop the magazine doesn't mean there's not a round in the chamber. So you're always going to want to clear that chamber. Clear the chamber. Set your ammo down. Set your firearm down. When you hear ceasefire, you step away from your firearm. No longer touching it right now. Yes, it is yours. Nobody is going to come up and take it from you, say you can no longer possess this firearm. Now, if you hear ceasefire and you're like, oh, I can get a couple more shots in, no, you cannot. Because the range officer will come up to you and say, hey, you did not listen to the instructions that I was calling over the loudspeaker, and I'm going to ask you politely to leave. I apologize that you were ignorant, but this is your own fault, and honestly, that's a danger to everybody that's at the range.
Everybody.
Stovepipe. If you hear somebody say stovepipe, and you see it's your rifle, check it. What a stovepipe is, it's when a round does not fully eject out of the chamber here. You've got your bolt slammed up into the round, and you might actually have another round in the chamber already. Now that's a massive danger to you and everyone around you, because if that round gets crimped down, you pull the trigger, it's going to go off, and it's actually, majority of the time, it's actually going to blow up in your face, and it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to be fun, and you're out. You're out however much you spent on your rifle.
Plus some possible body parts.
Squib. If somebody yells squib, or even if nobody says it, what a squib is. Can I see your 9mm, please? A squib is when you're firing, and you hear, but you don't feel any recoil, slide doesn't cycle through, the brass doesn't kick out, and you're like, what just happened? If you do not feel recoil at all once you've pulled the trigger, you're either out of ammunition or something's wrong with the ammunition that is already in the firearm, in the chamber that you just fired.
Now, you can almost tell if you're out of ammo because every time you're empty on some type of pistol, your slide will lock back. It will not let you fire because there's nothing to fire.
Just like that. Now, hang fire. I'll go back to squib here in a second. Hang fire is when the primer is ignited, but the black powder is slow burning. So it's going to take a minute for it to go off. What you want to do is don't do anything. Just keep your firearm aimed down range for 15-30 seconds. Wait for the gunpowder to fully burn itself off, or what have you. 30 seconds, even if you are terribly afraid that something's really going to go wrong, keep it pointed down range. Universal signal for ceasefire, right here. That's it. Ask one of the range guys to come over. Go ahead and drop your magazine. Tell them the round in the chamber did not go off. And you don't feel comfortable clearing it yourself. What he'll do is he'll eject the round. He'll visually inspect it. If the primer has been hit, he'll ask you how long how long since you pulled the trigger. And you'll tell him, I pulled the trigger and I waited 30 seconds. Nothing happened. Called for a ceasefire. And that's good, though. You did great. Nothing on your part is bad. You did good. But you're also not in trouble. Nobody got hurt. It's all right. Now, hang fires actually happen a lot on older ammunition.
So I should keep fresh ammo.
Always cycle through your ammunition. Back to squib real quick. A squib is when the round actually does go off, but all you hear is and the round is actually stuck in the barrel. I've seen this happen many times. People are like, huh, okay, the shell didn't just didn't eject. They just chamber another round and they start to go again. And I'm like, no, stop what you're doing. There's a round stuck in the barrel of your firearm. You pull the trigger right now, you're gonna blow your fingers off. And that's not just for pistols, that's every firearm out there. Now if you get a weapon jam, the majority of firearms, it's gonna happen. It
At
really
least
is.
once. At least.
Now, weapon jam, what you really want to do is you want to stop. And there is an acronym here too, but first, just stop. The S stands for slap. You have a magazine in here, you want to slap the bottom of it to ensure it's fully seated. T, tap. AR-15 here has a forward assist that I'm pushing. I want to hit that to ensure that the bolt is fully seated forward. Now, the O stands for observe. You want to pull the bolt back and make sure there's no obstructions inside your bolt chamber. You see there's a round in there, but the ejection, it didn't come flying out the ejection port. Definitely eject your magazine. Stop what you're doing. Say, hey, I got at least a dead shell in here that needs to be pushed out. The majority of firing ranges actually have some of these. This is a clearing rod / cleaning rod for barrels. This one's actually for his AK. What they're going to do is they're going to slide the rod down and through the barrel to, oh yeah, it stops right there, to push the brass or even the round that's stuck in the barrel back to squib. It's going to push it out. Be just fine. After that, still once again want to visually inspect. Make sure there's nothing else in there that's obstructing the function of your firearm. Let the bolt go forward. Proceed. Seen a lot of people get scared after they've had to have a shell pushed out or a round pushed out of the barrel. They're scared. They're like, I don't want it to blow up on me. It's not going to blow up on you. Trust me. Once all the obstructions are out of the way, you've got fresh ammunition in there, you're good to go. Yeah.
All right, just kind of a fact for you new gun owners, and congratulations on your first firearm. I'll give you that. You're taking the right step to protect yourself and your family. Just to be aware, I found this article today. It's from 2013. It's got some facts from 2011. They don't change very often, but just for a quick reminder, that in 1 month, 496 homicides anywhere. That's the basic rate for any city, pretty much, in a month. Not small towns, but I'm talking cities like Houston, Dallas. Yes, there are a lot more, but
New York, Chicago.
there are a lot more, but the basic, the average number is that 68% of those homicides are used by a blunt weapon. Blunt is the
Hammer, baseball bat.
Louisville Slugger, same thing. Iron, your fists, one.
Crowbars.
Plates. Anything that's a blunt object that can cause severe damage to someone's cranial or break bones, anything like that.
It's funny
So that's
looking around your apartment for blunt objects.
But that's really shows you what really can be used as a weapon. I mean, a spray can can be, if you use it right. Anything can be a weapon. But as I said, 68% are made by blunt objects. That means less than half are used by a firearm.
42% firearm-related incidences.
Which, yes, that doesn't really bode well when you really look at it percentages. But if you took that over the course of a year, you really see the difference. And that's not incorporating if it was a criminal offense that someone used to protect themselves. They just say a homicide. Everything gets rolled as a homicide if there's a dead body. Just point blank out there. I don't remember the exact statistics because it's been a while since I was in my criminal justice class on this, but I think if it was half of that 42%, or it's 3/4 of that actually get shifted out because they were due to defensive. So if you really come down to it, there's only 11% that are crime related. Give or take a few percentages.
And that's another statistic that a lot of news agencies and liberals that are trying to take away our Second Amendment rights try to throw out there. They try to throw out there, oh, we have the highest gun-related incidences in
Keyword incidents.
the entire world. Yes, keyword incidences. Now, if you take out suicides, self-defense, accidental discharge...
Now, that should not happen, period, but it does.
Yes, it does. If you take out those and a couple other...
police shootings and things like that.
If you actually just narrow it down to homicides only, it's a lot lower than what they really put it out to be. Because in those statistics, for the United States, they add up all of this. And then for everybody else, 99% of the time, they go off of homicide-based
Because that's
for all these other countries.
That's what gets reported. Homicides are the biggest reported crime anywhere. Because you want to know why? There has to be a dead body for it. And you cannot really hide a dead body.
Don't let these statistics scare you, okay?
They're here to everything on this table that we have is here to help you. Help your family.
Oh, except for your hunting rifle.
Not true. You can provide food.
There you go. Yep. Now, I really hope that this video helped all you newcomers to firearms and all you old-timers to firearms. Learning more of how to appreciate our rights given to us by the American people. Now, in other countries, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't exactly know all of your firearm laws, but the majority of you guys out there do have firearm laws that say you can't have it. I think it was Malaysia.
I'm not sure.
A couple of years ago, the newly elected president declared martial law and said you had, I believe it was 2 days or 2 weeks to hand over your firearms or go to jail.
Taking me to jail.
Australia had a mandatory buyback. Now, a lot of people throw around that mandatory buyback and they're saying, oh no, it was just a buyback. It was a mandatory buyback, meaning if you did not participate, you were then condemned to be a criminal. Now, I really hope this video helped you guys out a lot. Really helped me out a lot to,
Get some steam off your chest.
a little bit there. And go back and actually, remember how much I truly knew. Just remember, clip, magazine.